Hello everyone and welcome back to Star Fox 64. Today is the last part of the easy route and we're going to start with Titania, which looks very much like Saturn in this picture.
I can't leave Slippy hanging.
Now this level's actually unique because it actually reappears in the manga Farewell Beloved Falco. That manga was used as kind of a bridge between this game and Adventures, because as people know, Falco doesn't actually appear in Adventures, and it's got loads of references to the level in that comic. And I was thinking about reviewing the comic for this channel. I might do it. Well, by the time this goes up, it might have already been put up on the day before, so like I might have already done it. So in which case, this is kind of redundant. But if I haven't done it, I am thinking about doing it at some point. This is our first new vehicle. This is the Landmaster, which is a tank, and it's kind of a weird choice. Like when you think about like what the point of Star Fox is to kind of be like a space shooter, but like it's kind of earned its place really in the Star Fox canon, and in every Star Fox game where there is, well, since this, the Landmaster. Well, okay, maybe not in Adventures or Command. Okay, the Landmaster's been barely used since this. And in the 3D remake of this game, the Landmaster is actually made to look a lot more like the one that's in Smash Brothers, because obviously the Landmaster is Fox and Falco and Wolf's final smash. I find Wolf's one particularly interesting because that kind of confirms the idea that Star Wolf have their own kind of like that means they're more of a direct parallel to Star Fox. They have their own Landmasters and everything. Now, as for how the Landmaster controls, I find it alright. It's a little stiff sometimes, but like at the end of the day, you're controlling a tank. I don't expect it to be the most fluid thing on the planet. But like, I know sometimes I find it a little bit hard to dodge stuff. Again, a lot of my complaints could be traced back to the fact that I suck at the game, and I could totally get why you would think that, but it's just my opinion, I guess. Now, as for Titania itself, I don't really find it a particularly memorable level. A lot of this has to do with like the way it looks and the music used. The music used in this level is just the Macbeth music, which to me just makes it more unmemorable. And the colour palette is just this dull kind of orange, and I don't know, I don't really like it. I do like the nice use of foreshadowing there with the bones of the boss, because the boss of the level is kind of like a race of ancient creatures, I imagine, and it's kind of, Titania in a way is kind of the level with the most history attached to it, because in Farewell Beloved Falco, like I said, this place is used again, and it establishes that Andros has some bases on here and everything, and the Cornerian army uses a base here as well. And they're trying to and also they're trying to utilise some of the old ruins and the old technology for their own purposes. The villain of the comic, General Shears, is actually it actually looks just like General Pepper, and it's just kind of a reference to how General Pepper looked in Star Fox 2, which was cancelled. And I think this is true, but like the Landmaster was actually conceptualized in Star Fox 2, so that's another idea that could possibly have been carried over. Another one was another vehicle that was going to be used but ended up being cut. I think this could be the vehicle that's going to be revealed in Star Fox Wii U, because as people might know, Miyamoto confirmed that or rather someone confirmed, not necessarily Miyamoto, confirmed that a third vehicle is in a Star Fox Wii U. It's kind of a helicopter thing, and in Star Fox Wii U you can now actually, when the R-Wing lands on the ground, it transforms automatically into the Landmaster. I think that's an awesome feature, and it sounds kind of cool. To see it in motion would be kind of cool. This is actually the only mission where you have where you could say that your teammates are actively involved in it, because like in this game you might have noticed that Fox is basically doing all the work, but like Slippy actually is involved in this mission because, well, he's been kidnapped. Slippy should be dead there. The weight and force of all that sand should have broken through his the window in his cockpit and killed him. A little bit. I do actually have a little bit of trivia for General Pepper. Actually, his name is a reference to the album by the Beatles, you know, Sergeant Pepper, which is actually one of my favourite albums. I do find it a little bit strange this fight that Slippy now has all of his health back, but he said that he'd been injured. Not he'd been injured. His arming had been kind of damaged. Yep, just going to drive over the remains of our enemies. That's how Team Star Fox rolls. I think this is one of the only missions where you can't actually get a mission complete. Just like by definition of winning, you kind of get the accomplished. And also, I think this is one of the only levels where you can't actually advance to the medium path, because at this point, there's no way you can, because like if you go up to the medium path, I think. Yeah, because like Macbeth is pretty much Sector X. If you do well on that, that's the last chance you get to go to the hard route, because you have to have at least 2 levels to get to the hard route. And I didn't cover this last time, but in Sector X, the way to get to the alternate route in that is to take the left instead of the right path and just shoot some gates so you can enter a kind of a warp space, as it were. I don't know what was supposed to happen there. Okay, we're nearly finished with the easy route. Just one more level after this one, and then we're done. And this one is Bolse. It's a satellite. I guess it's kind of like a defense. Yeah, as it says there, Bolse defense outpost. It's pretty much there as a last line of defense for Venom.
I'm on it.
It took me ages to figure out what that robot voice was saying when you start a mission. He's actually saying good luck. I thought it was like gridlock or something like that. Now, this level is probably the worst in the game. I really don't like this level. The main reason for this is it's kind of tedious, and it's not a fun kind of like. It's not even that challenging. It's just the fact that the satellite is spinning. It kind of forces you a lot of luck on hitting these things, and it's kind of a little bit frustrating. And also, the quote unquote boss of this level can be a little bit frustrating to hit.
Hey, the force field is disappearing. Looks like we've got company.
Yep, more enemies. And also, it's this, like I said, it's mainly tedious. Like, I wouldn't say there's a level in Star Fox I hate because of anything that's really bad. It's just not. It's just it's just tedious, really.
Gee, I've been saved by Fox. How swell.
I do enjoy the music though. Oh look, Star Wolf are back, but there's only one of them. Now actually, depending on who shows up here is kind of relevant to for China, because if you let all 4 of them stay, Star Wolf I mean, then all 4 of them will show up here. But like, because I only let Andrew live, quote unquote, only he shows up, and that honestly they don't really get any harder here. And I love how awkward that intro is, by the way, because they all have lines they're supposed to say there, and only Andrew survived. It was like they just kind of silently came in. It was really awkward. This is also the only game where Star Wolf have 4 members. After this, they always have 3, because Pigma and Andrew leave after this. Basically, the reason why they leave it's not explained in the game. I think it's either in some supplementary material from Nintendo or in a Nintendo Power comic. Basically, Pigma gets kicked out of Star Wolf because he's greedy, and for some reason Wolf doesn't like that. And Andrew gets kicked out I'm not really sure the reason why Andrew gets kicked out. I'd like to say it's because Andros is just using Starwolf. He kind of asked Starwolf to have Andrew in, and since they don't work for Andros after this, it's kind of pointless having him there, I guess. But we're seeing you pretty much see Andrew in every single main Star Fox game besides Adventures. So we'll be seeing him again in Assault when he has a totally different voice and a totally different kind of personality. Again, like I said with Titania, I think this is a mission where it's impossible to get it complete. You can only get accomplished on it. Yeah, but like that level was pretty short. But like, I don't know. Even though it's short, I just kind of feel like it's like if whenever I'm doing the easy route, I never look forward to it. It's just kind of a nothing level, really. Unlike on Bolse there, we don't get a kind of like a chance, a breather as it were, to like to choose whether to go to Venom or not, and we just kind of get thrown in, and that's kind of I think that kind of adds to the kind of oh shit nature of it. And this is easily the most action-packed level in the entire game. There's so much resistance from everything. I mean, look at the screen. You can definitely feel like this is the final level of the game, and I love the music on this level as well, and I just love everything about the easy route. It really feels like it's the end of the game, but like when we get to the hard route, oddly it's kind of a bit anticlimactic in a way, I guess. But there's actually from what I found, and this could just be my suckage, but I think that it's actually impossible to get the medal on this route. You can only do it if you basically if you do the hard route, you kind of earn a medal naturally, because taking out the enemies and then Andros on the hard route, you earn enough points. But like on this, you don't. I find that a bit annoying and a bit arbitrary, to be honest. Oh, what the hell, Slippy? I'll come and help you. You've been such a good team player for the entire easy route, and you did get kidnapped by a boss, so I'll cut you some slack. So like, I'm going to save my final thoughts on the game for like the final part, because we're not even halfway through the commentary yet. But I'll just kind of do my thoughts on the easy route. If you want to, obviously, if you start Star Fox 64 with no prior knowledge of the game, this is obviously where you're going to end up anyway. But I really like the easy route. It's a nice, simple kind of switch off your brain route. But like, it's kind of hard in its own way to do the easy route, because you have to sometimes intentionally fuck up to get to it. I like the missions that are in the easy route, but I honestly feel like the more interesting stuff is reserved for the medium and hard route, and I kind of like that. If that was the point of the design, like it rewards you for basically doing the levels well with more interesting gimmicks, but in a way that's kind of backwards if it is true, because you're kind of cheating bad players out of something they might enjoy. Also, I love that set piece of the three of them going down like that. I think that's so cool. When I first played this, I remember like I was like, oh, Andros, like I thought I love that so much, that his little appearance there. It really like lends the scene a lot of tension, and like it builds up the boss fight in a nice way. Actually reminds me a lot of Banjo-Kazooie, where because Grunty's talking to you for the entire game, you naturally build up a dislike of her. Now actually there's a nice bit of trivia for this boss. If you take too long fighting this boss, apparently it's about 7 minutes, then the fight will end, and you basically, it's not a limitless hallway. It's just kind of like if you take 7 minutes, you run into a wall and it will instantly kill you. So like you just have to restart. So like you are actually on a time limit for this, but like the time limit is so huge that it's basically the only way you can mess this up is if you really suck at the game. And as you can see, by the time Slippy got the life meter up, I've nearly killed the boss anyway. Can I just say, I haven't mentioned this before, but I do absolutely love the boss music in this. I don't like the remix in the 3D version. And actually, getting onto that, I just want to say the Star Fox 3D, the soundtrack of that game is probably the worst thing about it. It just, I don't know, it feels really dead, and it feels like it has absolutely no energy. Whereas like this version of the game, I just feel like there's a ton of energy in it, and just a ton of effort put into it. I'm not saying no effort's been put into the 3D one, but you kind of get what I'm getting at, right? And that's that boss. That's quite an enjoyable boss, because that's quite unique in the game, because you're just chasing. I think it's probably the only boss where you're. Oh no, this is the Macbeth one where you're chasing them. No, you chase the one in Macbeth too. Okay, time to fight Andros for the first time. Obviously, it's no spoiler. We'll be fighting him again, but let's go. I love the build up to this fight. We'll be hearing this music again in Assault, but I absolutely love it. Like I said, I love this soundtrack and it's just such great build up as well. I just think it's a really great set piece. It's a classic moment as well. And I was an idiot there for going so fast. I didn't wait for the fucking door to open. Now on the hard route, these kind of rooms are a lot more complicated and large, but you know, in a way, I kind of feel like this build-up's a lot better, because it reminds me a lot of Star Wars as well, when Lando is going into the Death Star to blow it up. Reminds me of that. Nobody mentions the father. We'll be needing those bombs to blow him up. Okay, let's go. I made that look totally uncool by hitting the door on the way in. Now this boss is really easy if you just kind of do what I'm doing. Shoot his eyes and then shoot his hands. This is going to take basically no time at all, because it's really easy. Yep, just shoot his eyes and then shoot his hands. That's basically it. I love the spacey background though. I do really like that. And then just shoot his face. Yep, this is actually a fake Andros, and the point of the easy route is you're not even taking out. Well, I forgot how quickly I did that. You're not even taking out the real Andros. You're just taking out a robot. Okay, we're reaching the end here. So just final thoughts on the easy route. I like it, but if you want to get the full experience, then what you really need to do is to, you know, do all of the levels and all of the game. Really, don't just like stop here. There is a lot more to Star Fox 64 than just the easy route. Oh, that music. Again, I really like this music, because it really feels like a fuck yeah kind of moment.
Are you okay?
Yep. Yes, Peppy. Andros was surprisingly easy to kill. I don't understand why my father couldn't do it.
You did good, Fox.
915 is not really that great. We'll be getting a lot more in the hard and medium routes. So I'll see you next time when we do part 4 of the Star Fox 64 playthrough and begin the medium route. See you then.